Hello there, this is DBT and this is Art of Rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt Legends Unite, and rather I should say talking about the game, because today we're gonna have a look at the special event for the card that you see on the screen right now, and that is of course the Rimac Nevera period. Not to be confused with the Rimac Nevera Tam Attack, no, this is the original one, in theory, the better one. And today, we're gonna have a look at the special event, what are the requirements and what are your chances to unlock this card in it. But before I jump into it, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, because doing these things tells YouTube that this is worth recommending to more people, and in that way I can continue making this type of videos with the breakdowns of special events. So, if you want some more of that, like and subscribe. But alright, so, as I was just mentioning, the special event for this card just started yesterday. And well, it actually began at the same time that the Burst of Speed, and yesterday I prioritized making a video on the Burst of Speed because of course it's a big event and you know, the possibility of unlocking a bunch of cars. If you want to watch that, I'll put the link on the top right about now. But I wanted to make this video afterwards because in this special event, those Burst of Speed cars do play a bit of a role. It's a bit of a mess, I tell you. But alright, let's have a look at the event itself. Now, obviously it's under a special event, and here it is. Now, this is gonna be running for a total of 14 days, obviously, because already a day passed and whatnot. This is gonna be ending at the same time that the main season is gonna end, so just keep that in mind. Now, this event doesn't have too many stages. In fact, it only has 9 effective stages, and the last one being the competition one, but you know that I never really talk about it because the rewards over there are kind of expected, you know, some epics and whatnot, but in general, if you don't own this car, this doesn't even matter to you. So no, what I'm gonna be doing is checking all of the stages, but instead of going one by one and scrolling through all of the rewards and all of that, you know how DBT is when it comes to this type of videos. When it's about special events and breakdowns, you know that DBT likes to do Spreadsheets! You know I was gonna do this. Alright, so over here, as I always do, I like putting all of the information of the special event into Spreadsheet so that we can have a better bird's eye view of the entire event. Because like I said, going through each one of the stages in the game can be a little bit confusing, and wait, what did I need to... and it gets confusing. So I think it's a little bit more clear to do it this way. Now, let's talk a little bit about the format of this whole thing. Now, I talk about this in every one of these videos, but it's in case anybody is new over here. Over here, we have the column that explains, or rather, it says which stage we're going to be talking about, how many conditions are required in order to unlock said stage, what is the card that is going to be required or featured, at which stars is it going to be required, in this case it's a gold free try, how many conditions you can get in this particular, for this particular card, or yeah, again, I'll explain. And finally over here we got the general rewards. So we have how many tokens you can get, how many credits, how many Nevera blueprints, Nevera epic import parts, and other type of rewards. Like over here in miscellaneous, it just means those type of packs that just contain some blueprints for random cars and whatnot. Nothing too interesting, right? So, alright, that is the first stage. I think it's very clear to understand. It's marked green because it's already unlocked. However, once you get 10 conditions over here, you will have access to the second stage, which is gonna feature... oh boy, this is why I said that this is a little bit weird. It's gonna feature the Aston Martin Vulcan and sort of the Imola. Those are the two cars that you can use in that stage. And I'm gonna show it to you in the game just so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So if we go over here, actually the picture, you notice that it features the Imola, right? The Pagani Imola. But if you actually go into the car selection, you see that you have two cars available, the Imola and the Aston Martin Vulcan. Each one of these stages, except the ones for the Rimac Nevera, feature two cars, one being the Burst of Speed car, that's why I said that it was important, and another one that is a much more common car that you probably already own. And once again, this is where things are gonna get a little bit confusing, because if we look at the requirements over here, you're gonna see that they don't have any requirements for any particular car. In fact, all of this can be done with either car until you get to a certain point in which it does require the Aston Martin Vulcan. So this is important because when we look at the spreadsheet, you can see over here that I have indeed set up over here the Aston Martin Vulcan that required at 4 stars, and with that you can get 4 total conditions, and the rewards are gonna be 3 blueprints for the Pagani Imola and 1 epic for the Pagani Imola. Now from here onwards, you can see I added this bit of a separator because over here you can use any car, whether it's the Vulcan or the Imola in case you own it. You can do all of this with either car. So for example, over here at 1 star with either car, you can get a bit of credits and some miscellaneous rewards. At 2 stars, you can get 100 tokens. At 3 stars, you can get 100,000 credits plus 1 Nevera Epic, Nevera Blueprint, as it says up here. At 4 stars, you can get 3 additional blueprints for the Nevera, and at 5 stars, you can get, again, some credits and some blueprints. Now, this is the part that is a little bit weird, because you can say that I put Imola over here, but if we have a look, whoa, real-time edit. Okay, I had to make a bit of a correction on there because I forgot that the main car, in this case the Aston Martin Vulcan, is only a 4-star car. And this is where I was gonna say that it gets a little bit weird, because over here you can see that for 5 stars and 6 stars I put it as Imola, but in parentheses. The reason for that is that if we look at the requirements over here as they're put in the event itself, you will see that at 5 stars, it doesn't actually tell you that you need any specific car. So that's fine, right? You can do it with either. Except that, like I just mentioned, the Vulcan only gets to 4 stars. So if you want to get those 5-star and 6-star rewards, you need to be using, in this case, the Pagani Imola. It's impossible to do with the Vulcan, and that is why I put it like that on the spreadsheet. So just going over quickly again, with the Vulcan, specifically with the Vulcan, there's one stage. There's another, or not stage, excuse me, this conditions over here. With any car, whether it's the Imola or the Vulcan, you can do any of this. And this right here, you can only do with the Imola, even though it's not specified. Now you can see in the rewards there with the Imola at 6 stars, you can get some additional tokens, an Epic for the Nevera, which is obviously going to be something important if you're going for the car, and an Imola Epic as well over here. So you're going to see that it's basically the same thing for these stages. For example, in stage 3, you need 20 conditions to unlock it. And again, same thing, specifically with the Nissan, at 4 stars, you can get this stuff over here, a Kunta Shell PI, blueprint, 3 blueprints plus 1 Epic for the LPI. With any of the 2 cars, you can get all of this stuff, some tokens, credits, some blueprints for the Nevera. And finally, with the Kunta Shell PI at 5 and 6 stars, you can get some additional blueprints for the Nevera, tokens, epics, and even another epic for the Countach LPI. Moving on, same thing for stage 4 with the Ferrari J50. Specifically with that car, you can get some blueprints for the Vision 111 and an epic. With either car, you can get same thing. You will notice that it's a very similar thing between all of these stages, just the cars change and the amounts change a little bit. So for 4 stars, you can get all of this stuff, an additional 5 blueprints for the Nevera, and the Vision 111, which is the car that you can get at 5 or 6 stars because the J50 also only gets to 4. For this one, you can get same thing, right? Some tokens, credits, 8 blueprints for the Nevera, an epic, and another epic for the 111. Finally, at stage 5, we go back to normalcy, where it's just a free try, a gold free try of the Rimac Nevera, where you can get some tokens, some credits, and some miscellaneous reward that I didn't write. Oh, wow. Great spelling, DBT. There you go. So yeah, that's what you can get over there. So nothing too interesting, gold free tries, so you can just do it without problem. Then coming back at stage 6, we go back to this whole thing where it's a mixture of the cars that are required. Now, the car over here is going to be the Icona Volcano, a common car that you probably own. And if you have it at 4 stars, you can get an Owl, 3 Owl blueprints, Owl meaning Aspark Owl blueprints. At 5 stars, you can get an Epic for the car. So you can see this is kind of similar to these ones, just split into 4 and 5 stars. Then with either car, whether it's the Icona or the Owl, at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, you can get all of this stuff, you know, credits, some tokens, some blueprints for the Nevera, and whatever. And finally, with Aspark Owl at 6 stars, you can get more tokens, a blueprint, an epic for the Nevera, and an Aspark Owl epic as well. Now, you will notice that indeed, with the featured cars, or rather the burst of speed cars, is where you're going to be able to get the Nevera epics. That's why this is sort of important, why these cars kind of matter if, again, you're going for the Nevera. At stage 7, we got the same thing with the Ferrari FXXK with the 4 and 5 star requirements to get some blueprint and epic for the Chiron 300 Plus. With either car, you can get all of this stuff. And finally, with the Chiron 300 Plus itself at 6 stars, you can get, once again, tokens, an epic for the Nevera, and another epic for the 300 Plus. Stage 8, which is the last one that features this type of cars, is going to have the W Motors Lycan at 4 and 5 stars, again, for blueprints and epic of the Mistral. With either car, you can get credits and tokens and some additional blueprints. And finally, with the Mistral at 6 stars, you would be able to get, once again, tokens, an epic of the Nevera, and an epic of the Mistral. And finally, the last proper stage being the one for the Rimac Nevera itself. Now, this is for when you already own this car. Now, I'm not 100% sure because it doesn't show, but I would imagine that a 1 star is gonna be a free try. I actually do believe that any of these 1 stars are gonna be free tries, but that's about it. I'm not sure though because it doesn't show. Now, from there onwards, well, at 1 star you can get some credits, 250,000. At 2 stars, you can get some 250 tokens. 3 stars, you can get 400,000 credits. You can see the pattern, right? Credits, token, credits, token. And finally, at the 6 star, other than the tokens, you can get an additional 2 epics for the Nevera. So over here, you can see the grand totals of what it is that you can get in the stages themselves. Now, I also want to show you what are the milestone rewards over here, you know, this stuff right here. Now, we could go like this, but I think it's just easier to show it in the same way that I've been showing the rest. And here it is. So we can get at 15 conditions 2 Nevera blueprints, some miscellaneous rewards, some more blueprints, VIP points, more blueprints, credits, blueprints, tokens, an epic, more VIP points, miscellaneous rewards, which for 300 just feels like an insult, but hey, it's fine. 2 epics for the Nevera, and finally, at 339 conditions, you can get the Nevera key. Now, how many conditions are in this event? Of course, 300, and actually I didn't put the total, but yeah, the grand total of condition is 339. So that means that you need to 100% this event if you want to get this key for this car. And therein lies the catch of this entire special event. While in general you can get some decent rewards for tokens and some credits and even some blueprints for the Nevera with common cars, the only way to actually unlock the car is by not only maxing out the Nevera, which obviously you can get or you can do over here because you can get only a total of 60 blueprints over here, plus the blueprints that you get over here, that gives us a grand total of 75 blueprints for the Nevera. That's all that you can get over here. So you cannot get this blueprint. So not only do you need to max out the Nevera through the packs on the store by spending a bunch of tokens into doing that, you also need to max out all of the cars from the Burst of Speed, the Mola, the Countach, the Vision 111, Asphalt, Chiron 300 Plus, and Mistral. So that's why this event, if you're really hoping to get the Rimac Nevera, unless you have a gajillion tokens, I would say it's not gonna be very, very likely unless you already have all of these other cars maxed out for some reason, in which case, okay, just go ahead. But in general, for the average players, this event is not gonna be good to unlock the car. But like I said, there's still some good stuff that you can get. Speaking of what you can get over here, let me hide this one again and show the milestone rewards. I'm gonna explain how this calculator works because you will be able to use this yourself in order to see what type of rewards or how many rewards how many rewards you're gonna be able to get. There you go. So over here, where it says enter your conditions, you're gonna be able to write down how many conditions you can do depending on which cars you have. So for example, let's say that I'm a regular player, but I don't have any of the fancy cars. So over here in the stage 1, well, there's 20 conditions that I can do, and because it's a gold free try, I can do 20 conditions. Now with that, you can see that already a couple of these marked were turned green because I already got enough conditions to unlock them. You can see on the top right over here, the total of your conditions. They're gonna be adding up. And also because I marked this one up, you can see that already it's counting up how many things I can earn. In this case, 125 tokens, 125 credits, and the miscellaneous rewards, I'm not gonna count them because that just doesn't kind of work. But alright, so that is that one. Now, I am an average player, but I don't have the Mola. I do have my Vulcan at 4 stars. So I can get this, so it's gonna be 4 conditions that I can do. Great. But also, because it's the Vulcan and it's either car over here, I can do 15 conditions over here, I can do 5, I can do 5, and I can do 3. Now you can see that already some other stuff marked green because they have been unlocked because I have enough of the conditions in order to unlock them. And over here, each one of these rows also gets marked green in order to start adding up the total of the rewards that you're gonna be able to get. So you can see that even if I only have the Vulcan, I already can get 225 tokens plus 350,000 credits plus 4 Nevera blueprints. So same thing over here. I have the Nismo, but I don't have the Countach at all. So let's just mark it because I can do 4 conditions over here. And since it's with that, the car can do 15 here, 5, 5, and 2. Great. Same thing over here, the J50, I don't have the Vision 111, so I'm gonna mark 4, oh Jesus Christ, 15, 5, 6, 3, and that's about it. Rimac Nevera Gold free try, I'm gonna be able to do the 20 because again it's a free try, so no problem. Icona Volcano, let's say that I also have it at max stars at 5 stars, so I'm gonna do 3, 1, 15, 5, 5, 3, and 7 because again this card does go up to 5 stars, so I can do all the way up here, but I don't have the owl, so that doesn't count. And then over here, same thing, I have the Ferrari FX6. So you see what I'm doing, right? I'm basically filling it up to show you what is the maximum progress that a regular player without any of the fancy cars can do over here. So Lycan gonna be the same 3, 1, 15, 5, 6, 3, and 6. And that's about it. Now, I'm gonna assume that the Rimac Nevera is a free try, but I'm not gonna count it for now. So this is basically what type of progress you would be able to do in this event if you only have the common cars, not the fancy rare ones. So you can see I already got 1,150 tokens, 2.5 million credits, 42 blueprints for the Nevera, and over here on this side you can get some additional stuff like some additional Nevera blueprints, some credits, VIP points, tokens, and even, wow, 750. Oh, that's not bad. You can get a total of what? 1250 VIP points over here. That's not too bad. So yeah, this is basically how you're gonna be able to calculate your own progress in this event. Now, assuming that this is a free try, I could also add this and adds a little bit of credits to my total. But yeah, there you go. So over here at the top is where it shows you what is your total. Now, of course, if you do have this, all the cars, well, then you can make some additional progress. Like in my case, I do have the mole on my Switch. I'm gonna talk about my Switch account. I do have this one at 6 stars, the Countach, I also have it at 6 stars. Vision 111, I don't even own it. Same thing for the Owl, same thing for the 300 Plus or the Mistral. So this is basically the progress that I would be able to make in my Switch account, which is, you know, a bit more tokens, a bit more credits, but not a whole lot of progress in general. So once you open this calculator, if it's already filled up, all you gotta do is select these white cells and just delete them, and that clears it up again, and you can start working up and filling it up again so that you can use it. So this is gonna be linked in the description. It's gonna be the first link, also in the pinned comment if you wanna use it. So yeah, I hope this helps a little bit to calculate just how much progress you're gonna be able to do in this event. And just to have a tiny bit of gameplay in this video, let's do one of the races with the free try of the first stage of the Nevera, just to drive it a little bit. But yeah, like I was saying, this event is mostly for, well, no, it's not mostly just for the people that are doing the burst of speed. It's for everybody, because again, you can still get some decent rewards because it features some common cars. So some 1,000 tokens, a bunch of credits, why not go for it, right? It's not too difficult to do, only if you, of course, have enough tickets to do, because you know there's so many things at the moment in the game going on that you really gotta be thinking, where do I want to spend my tickets? But assuming that you do have tickets to spare, well, why not do this event? But yeah, if you were thinking that you're gonna be able to unlock this car in this event, well, bad news, it's really not gonna work out, because again, you need to max out not only the Rimac Nevera, you need to max out all of the cars of the burst of speed, so that's gonna be a task. But alright, if you found this video interesting, useful, informative, or anything, like, subscribe, share it to other people who might also find it useful, but that's gonna do it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye!